just 10 minutes. That's how close Monica Elkins came to potentially saving her daughter's life on that frigid January morning in Warren, Michigan. At 8:30 a.m., Ashley Elkins walked out her front door, headed to buy beauty supplies for her home salon. At 8:40 a.m., her mother arrived at the empty house. In those 10 minutes, Ashley Elkins, beloved mother of 2 young boys, talented beautician, and daughter who texted her mother every morning, vanished into thin air. The last message Monica received from her daughter's phone was jarringly out of character. "Aw, man." 2 simple words that set off every maternal alarm bell Monica possessed. 2 words that investigators now believe weren't written by Ashley at all, but by someone who had already taken control of her phone and possibly her life. Hello strangers, and welcome back to the Strange Bar and Grill. I'm your host, JP. Today we have another interesting missing persons case from earlier this month. This is the story of Ashley Elkins. In the working class community of Warren, Michigan, Ashley Elkins had carved out a life that embodied the American dream of entrepreneurship and devoted motherhood. As a talented beautician, she had transformed her home into a thriving salon where she built a loyal clientele while maintaining the flexibility to care for her 2 young sons, ages 7 and 10. Her work ethic and dedication to her craft had earned her a reputation as a skilled professional, and her warm personality drew clients back time and time again. Ashley's journey wasn't without its hardships. In April of 2024, she faced the devastating loss of her father, who was murdered under circumstances that shook the family to its core. Through this tragedy, her mother Monica remained a pillar of strength, their close relationship becoming even more vital as they supported each other and Ashley's children through their grief. Despite the challenges, Ashley maintained her focus on creating a stable, loving environment for her boys while growing her business. Her relationship with DeAndre Booker began promising enough. Over their year together, DeAndre seemed to embody everything the family could hope for in a partner for Ashley. He attended formal events, including the family's Christmas extravaganza, where he appeared to fit seamlessly into their tight-knit circle. He played basketball with the boys, took them for haircuts, and stepped up as a source of support during the difficult period following Ashley's father's death. Monica Elkins, Ashley's mother, had even begun to envision him as her future son-in-law, impressed by his apparent devotion to both Ashley and her sons. However, the facade began to crack as DeAndre's controlling nature emerged. His behavior grew increasingly possessive, particularly regarding Ashley's male clients. The situation became so uncomfortable that Ashley temporarily relocated her business to a commercial booth space, hoping to appease his jealousy and maintain peace in their relationship. Friends began noticing disturbing patterns. Ashley would mention feeling followed, and mysterious appointments would appear in her booking system, later revealed to be DeAndre Booker attempting to monitor her movements. The relationship ended in September 2024, but Booker's presence lingered. The family later discovered he had created an elaborate network of fake social media profiles, each account carefully crafted to maintain the illusion of legitimate followers. These profiles would interact with his posts in coordinated ways, raising serious questions about his psychological state and technological sophistication. Even more disturbing, just 2 days before Ashley's disappearance, Booker had posed as a client, booking an appointment through her website and attempting to gain entry into her home by knocking on both the front and side doors. Ashley would tell everyone to hush, get down, and be quiet until he left. The morning of January 2nd, 2025 began like any other. At 8:30 a.m., Ashley left her home to run errands and purchase beauty supplies. The timing proved tragically significant. Just 10 minutes later, her mother, Monica, arrived at her house. Monica, troubled by a dream about Ashley's car being stolen. In her dream, Ashley came and took her mom's truck and left her car in the driveway. But when Monica checked in the dream, the car was gone and was shortly later found in a grassy area with the trunk and hood open. This dream didn't sit right with Monica, and she immediately sent her daughter a text message describing the premonition. The response she received was odd. The text back from Ashley's phone read, "Aw, man." It immediately set off alarm bells. The phrase was jarringly out of character for Ashley, whose text messages typically reflected her articulate professional demeanor. Concerned, Monica attempted to FaceTime her daughter, but the call went unanswered. A later text message to a family member claimed Ashley was heading to a beauty supply store in Roseville. Then came a pattern familiar to investigators of missing persons cases. Ashley's phone was turned off and on again, a common tactic used by perpetrators to disrupt location tracking. The final ping from her phone came from the vicinity of DeAndre Booker's apartment in Roseville. The investigation moved quickly, but faced immediate obstacles. 5 days after Ashley's disappearance, police located her gray 2009 or 2010 Chevy Malibu abandoned a few miles from DeAndre Booker's apartment on Little Mac and 13 Mile Road. A search warrant executed at DeAndre's residence yielded what investigators described as substantial evidence of extreme violence. Law enforcement also seized a dumpster from behind his apartment complex, suggesting a possible attempt to dispose of evidence. Police also traced the last known location of Ashley's phone to Booker's apartment complex. On January 9th, DeAndre Booker was charged with lying to police. What might seem like a relatively minor charge, lying to a police officer in a violent crime investigation, is a 4-year felony under Michigan law. However, this charging decision revealed a careful strategic approach by prosecutors. During DeAndre Booker's first court appearance, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Stephen Fox laid out a compelling argument that illuminated why this initial charge was far from minor. Fox methodically presented several key factors to the court. First, he emphasized the underlying context while Booker was charged with lying to police. These lies occurred during the investigation of what prosecutors believed to be a violent crime. Fox pointed to objective evidence and video evidence that contradicted DeAndre Booker's statements about both his location and Ashley's movements on the day she disappeared. The prosecution's bond argument painted a picture of a flight risk with a troubling history. They revealed DeAndre Booker's military record, including charges from 2016 for larceny of private property and fraudulent identification documents, followed by a 2017 desertion charge when he went AWOL from the U.S. Army. These incidents resulted in a less than honorable discharge from military service. Most damning were DeAndre Booker's actions immediately after Ashley's disappearance. He planned to flee from Macomb County to Flint. Investigators discovered his disturbing internet searches. They read, "Fastest routes from Flint to Ohio," "What to do on the run," "Is blood traceable?" "How to beat a polygraph," and "Deleting Google history." I guess that last search didn't work for you, because they found your history. Based on this evidence, prosecutors successfully argued for a $500,000 cash bond with no 10% option and a requirement for GPS monitoring if bond was posted. The strategic nature of the initial charge became clear. While investigators built their homicide case, they ensured Booker remained in custody through the lying charge. This approach, sometimes called a holding charge, is a common prosecutorial strategy when investigators need time to complete complex forensic analysis or continue searching for crucial evidence. Now, with all this evidence, the evidence of the violent struggle, the phone pings, the evidence they found in the apartment complex dumpster, etc., this led the investigation to the landfill. The search for Ashley evolved into a massive operation centered on the Pine Tree Acres landfill in Lenox Township, where investigators believe crucial evidence may be buried beneath tons of municipal waste. The scope of the search is staggering. The 700-acre facility, equivalent to the size of 500 football fields, processes approximately 3 million tons of garbage annually from communities across Macomb County. For investigators, finding Ashley in this vast expanse is akin to searching for a needle in a haystack, but one where the haystack grows by thousands of pounds every hour. The search operation itself is a masterclass in forensic archaeology and waste management cooperation. Landfill operators have provided invaluable assistance by consulting their detailed logs of where specific communities' waste was deposited on particular days. This information has allowed investigators to narrow their search to sections where trash collected from the Roseville area would have been dumped in the days following Ashley's disappearance. Search teams, comprised of officers from about a dozen law enforcement agencies and cadaver dogs, work in carefully coordinated shifts. Each team member must don full personal protective equipment, including hazmat suits, respirators, and heavy-duty gloves, to shield themselves from the many environmental hazards. The winter conditions in Michigan have added another layer of complexity to an already challenging operation. Snow and freezing temperatures make the ground hard and brittle, while also making it more difficult for cadaver dogs to pick up scents. The search at the landfill concluded on January 19th. Ashley Elkins' body was not recovered. However, the police would recover several items that looked like Ashley's personal items, but further testing will be needed to confirm. Sadly, that's all we know about this case right now, but based on the evidence available, several theories emerge about what may have happened to Ashley Elkins on the morning of January 2nd, 2025. So let's examine each possibility while we consider the known evidence and timeline. Theory number 1, a planned abduction outside of her home. The strongest theory, supported by both physical evidence and family statements, suggests DeAndre Booker was waiting outside Ashley's home when she left at 8:30 a.m. Several factors support this scenario. First, the timing is crucial. Ashley's mother arrived just 10 minutes after she left, suggesting the perpetrator knew Ashley's schedule and acted quickly. This aligns with Booker's demonstrated pattern of surveillance, including his attempt to gain entry into her home just 2 days prior by posing as a client. The text message response to Monica, the "aw man" text message, came shortly after Ashley's departure. The uncharacteristic language suggests someone else was using Ashley's phone, likely after having already taken control of her. This theory explains why Ashley never answered the subsequent FaceTime call. She was already unable to respond. This scenario would explain the phone's movement directly to DeAndre's apartment area, where investigators later found evidence of violence. The premeditated nature of this theory aligns with DeAndre's technological sophistication, demonstrated by his creation of multiple fake social media accounts to monitor Ashley. Theory number 2, a confrontation at a planned location. Another possibility is that DeAndre Booker arranged to meet Ashley under false pretenses, perhaps by creating a fake beauty supply emergency or client appointment. This theory is supported by the fact that Ashley told family she was going to a beauty supply store in Roseville, where DeAndre Booker's apartment was located. Given his history of creating fake appointments, he may have manufactured a reason for Ashley to come to his area. The phone's movement pattern and the location of her abandoned car suggest she may have driven herself to a meeting point. This could explain why her car was found a few miles from his apartment rather than at her home. Theory 3, a chance encounter leading to violence. While less likely, given the evidence of premeditation, there's a possibility that DeAndre spotted Ashley running errands and took advantage of the opportunity. However, several factors make this less probable. The speed with which events unfolded suggests planning rather than opportunity. The suspicious text messages began almost immediately after Ashley left home, indicating the perpetrator was ready and waiting. DeAndre Booker's internet search history included queries about blood traceability and how to beat a polygraph, suggests premeditation rather than a spontaneous act. Also, the fact that he was apparently stalking her, creating these fake appointments, and showing up at her house. This sounds very premeditated. But what do you all think? Do you believe DeAndre is the culprit? Do you think the police got it all wrong? What about the fact that they couldn't find Ashley's body? Me personally, I think DeAndre did this. Given all the digital, physical, and behavioral evidence, he appears guilty. I think she may still be in that landfill for whatever reason. She wasn't located. I know it's hard to kind of dig through tons and tons of garbage, so maybe that's why they couldn't find her. It's been cold this month. It's been frozen, and the cadaver dogs do have a harder time in the cold weather. But yes, I think he did it. Allegedly, because you got to throw that shit in there so you don't catch a case. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Let me know what you guys think of this one in the comment section.